I love the weather, so I wanted to get, if I said
that's
high pressure, or I said high pressure, and that's what people like. Most of the public liked the style, but it was sincere. I didn't take the weather as a joke.
This is Grounded in Granite, where every person and every place has a story to tell. I'm Jason Schreiber. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Grounded in Granite. So I'm here in Merrimack, New Hampshire at Buckley's Bakery and Cafe, and I have a really special guest with me today, a celebrity guest, local celebrity. New Hampshire's legendary meteorologist, Al Kaprielian, is with me, and I'm super excited because I've watched you when I was a kid growing up on WNDS. Al, thank you for...
Well, Jason, I got that job right out of college. I attended Linden State College in Lindenville, Vermont, which is now, they merged with some other colleges. It's called the State University at Linden. So,
and you were young. You were like 22, right? When you got your job?
Yeah, I was 22. And I started working there in August. I commuted from Natick, Massachusetts, where I grew up. And then they wanted me to live in Derry. So I lived in Derry at a studio apartment. Then I bought a condo in 89. And then in Merrimack, I moved to a new development here in 2000.
Okay. Yeah. So you're in Merrimack now. And we all know, if you know Al Kaprielian, you know, good evening and high pressure. So, all right. Clearly, your delivery of the weather is the most unique of any forecaster we've seen in New England. How did that, is it just your personality? How did that?
Well, I mean, I have a sincere style.
But you're a great forecaster. You're accurate. You're accurate.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it's sincere, and they wanted somebody that had a little bit of personality.
Okay.
And one thing about WNDS, they let me be myself.
Okay.
I got excited because it came from the heart. It's not that I'm strange or weird, but they could interpret that. Some of the boss, this guy is, but it's a love for the weather, but I am sincere.
Anyone who knows New Hampshire weather knows Al Kaprielian. I mean, well, in you're known New England,
Massachusetts, even south of Boston.
South of Boston, yeah. I mean, you are a legend.
I had a fan club that came up from Bridgewater.
Did you really? Well, you're so famous that you were on the Westland Creamery milk carton, and so there he is. Take a look there. And what year was that? Do you know, Al? Around that,
so long ago, might have been in the 80s or in the early.
And you have an ornament, a Christmas ornament.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, not everyone gets their own.
Well, I did a lot of just not doing TV in Derry, Jason. I went out and did the parades. I think the Shriners, the Bektash Shriners up in Concord. I was a judge for the Christmas tree judging for over 10 years.
You did a lot of community events.
Yes.
And, So
parades too.
So Al, well, we gotta start. I was gonna do my impression, but you, all right, you do it first. Can you do
Good
your
evening, and then high pressure.
Oh, I'm gonna try it,
Okay.
and you can grade.
I bet you do a good.
All right, all right.
Okay.
Good evening.
Very good.
Did I do? All right.
Yeah.
Not you. And then the high pressure.
Yeah. And I did a lot of hand motions at the map, like the jet stream. Yes.
Oh man, yeah,
because that really is getting into the weather, and I'm not just standing there like a wallflower.
No. Right.
No, this is going. But that's the biggest stations. They want that more subdued. Especially if you're not the chief. They don't want somebody like a replacement coming in like me and. People say, why don't you make him a chief?
Yeah. So anyone who sort of
it's competition and TV's very competitive. I liked NDS because I could go and do what I wanted. WNDS, they really want in my office, Al, don't do that. Don't say good evening.
Yeah.
They never really said they let me do my own thing, which that was a gift. You're not going to see that today. But there's really nothing wrong. In the end, the end, life is so short. What's it matter if but that's their opinion.
Did you ever wonder though, if would people take you seriously? Did that?
Well, they probably, because of that style, they thought it was kind of a joke, but it wasn't really. And I think the people out there outside the Buckley, they always say, hi, Al. I still get recognized like I was on, and I haven't been on TV since 2015. So people had that in me, but the management at the Boston station, that's that guy that goes high pressure. they don't want to try it. But
you were so well known for your high pressure that you even had a postcard here, Weather with Al, high pressure when you were at WNDS. So that's how famous that your high pressure is. And what else do we have here? So,
that was a big picture I give out, the one you have here.
So
Jason, I signed.
So you signed.
That's a collector's item. So
that's a collector.
There's no more stations. So that diamond was the symbol of WNDS.
Right. Yeah.
So you have you have a lot of history in your hand.
Well, I know. And so
that was all the shows, and I signed it with the white there.
That was all the shows.
Simpsons was a big show. I was right up there with the.
Yeah, the Simpsons.
We have Relic Hunter and
Cosby Show was on. Yeah.
Simpsons was a high-rated show.
Didn't you make a guest appearance on the Weather Channel once? I thought, didn't you do some?
I think we went. Well, I went to Atlanta. Maybe it was a weather conference. They might have.
I thought you. Okay, no, I thought you were on there.
No, I don't. I went there. I think we had a tour when we had.
Okay,
that was 1986. I went to Atlanta.
Okay, all right. There's bobbleheads of you too.
I have one. I think I have one somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, you didn't bring it with.
No, I didn't.
There's one on eBay. My friend found one on eBay recently. So.
Yeah.
Did you ever get injured on the set? Because you used to jump around a lot.
Not
and
really.
I wondered if you ever toppled over.
No. I used to do the jump.
Okay.
Well, I know I did. It was a radio station in Hampshire. I know it was. I used to do a guarantee high, and I do a jump. If I got it within 3, that was probably the. No, I didn't get hurt then.
Oh, good. So, how many years, Al, were you on the air at WNDS?
Well,
that
over
was
25.
Over 25 years.
Probably 25 to 28. Somewhere.
And then it became My TV.
Well, it was My TV, WNDS. Well, before that, I think it was in the late 90s that home shopping came, and people were they didn't make it financially. They tried to sell to a home shopping, and that the public didn't want that. They didn't even last long at all.
Yeah.
And then WZMY came. After that was WBIN.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know Bill Binney. He bought it after them, and then he sold it. I think 2016, 17. And we had times when it was WNDS when we didn't have news and they did cut-ins. I was always sold out for advertisers.
Really?
Just about.
I'm not surprised. So that's just who you are.
I also want to mention, I was mentioned by the Boston Globe and the New Hampshire Association of Broadcasters of being accurate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I
had that mentioned while it was, I believe it was still WNDS, during my WNDS days.
Mm-hmm. How did your interest? You always had an interest in the weather?
Yes, in the 6th grade. I used to watch, actually, Bob Copeland on Channel 5. I'd sit here and the TV would be on the counter. I'm at the kitchen table and the TV would be off in the corner there. And I get the weather from him and go in and give the weather to my 6th grade class.
Oh, really? So the kids then
they
wondered,
knew.
Is this guy
and a lot of them said in high school that, even my senior year, you said you're going to do what you said you were going to do. A lot of people, even in 9th grade today, they don't know what, they just take liberal arts. I knew when I was in elementary school that I just had a fascination for snowstorms and and it just became a love in me. And everyone said in my senior year, you're gonna stick with it. I went to a high school reunion 1 or 2 times after I graduated, and they said you did what you set out to do. A lot of people don't know, even as I said, there was a freshman in high school, what they want to do, but.
Do you have a favorite moment throughout your career? Do you have a favorite moment on air or?
I liked it in the back with the snowstorms. They used to set me up in the back of the building. Had the 2 garage doors open. It was fun.
Do you have a memorable weather event in your?
I think Hurricane career? Bob was there.
Okay, and that was in the 91?
Yeah,
I was
1991. Yeah.
What did you enjoy most about your time on TV?
Well, I think doing public appearances like the judging of trees, the parades. One year I was in few years I was in the Merrimack Christmas Parade. The Derry Christmas Parade I did 10 years plus.
And you were in a heart. Let's see. We've got here.
I did the
American Heart Association Heart Walk top fundraiser.
Yeah, I did that in 03, 04. I was the top fundraiser, 2nd place in 2004. Okay. That was in Manchester.
So you enjoyed doing all the community.
Yeah, I had to raise money I did that. It was fun. I did a lot more than just being on TV. If you're a TV meteorologist, for everyone watching us, you have to do more than just being on TV. And just so I wanted everyone to know, Jason, they only hired one meteorologist in July of 83. Now, you see the Boston stations and you watch.
Right.
There's during a storm, there's 3 of them working, maybe 4.
Yeah.
I did everything alone, and I worked 7 days a week until November. I think it was November we hired a weekend person because we were doing 7 days a week when we started the news. So I was working 7 days a week through October of 1983, and I was the main person, and I took very few vacations.
Yeah, I guess you did.
I was very dedicated to the station.
Are you surprised at the following that you developed, the fans over the years? Were you surprised by any of that?
Well, I think it was they knew I was sincere. They knew I liked people. I went out in the community and this is above and beyond. The general manager at WNDS always said she always used to say Al goes above and beyond.
Al, what's the craziest thing you ever did?
Well, I know Mike, the sports guy, I forgot. I was in the big studio and I forgot my button that changes the maps, and he threw it to me. and
did you catch it?
I think I caught it. I didn't have the button, so he went in my office, and I remember that. We had some great times.
You dressed up for Halloween. I think I saw you like you were a Dracula or something.
I think during the My TV when I was there with them, we had a Halloween party. I figure I did dress up.
Oh, you did? Okay, that was at My TV. That was at My TV. All right. Was it tough? Was it a tough job? Did you?
Well, forecasting is tough. If you were a reporter and you're covering a fire, and Jason, everyone says this house burnt because of arson. Somebody said it. That's a fact. And the fire started at, and it was put out at. Those are all facts for a reporter. Whether it changes, you could watch me. And for example, Sunday looks good. All of a sudden tonight, I'm saying the storm in the Great Lakes is moving quicker with its cold front and warm. We may see rain late Sunday night into Monday morning, but it's moving so fast, Monday may clear instead of raining all day. Timing and computer models can change. A lot of times we have trouble with the tracks. Now, the blizzard of 78, we had the limited fine mesh model, the LFM. It did not predict a snowstorm. So people went to work. I was in high school. People were stuck on 128. They had to get front end loaders. The snow was so heavy, the plows wouldn't. People sat there and they had to shut their engines off because you never want to leave your car running with snow in the exhaust. So that LFM, they got rid of that model because we had an upper level low and a surface low kind of on top of each other. And whether we say vertically stacked, but the LFM had the upper level, like the energy in the upper levels was too weak. So people went to work on the blizzard of 78 that morning. We weren't calling for a big. And people were stranded on what they had to get front end loaders to get people out. So they sat in their car with the motor off. Plus, they couldn't have any heat either.
Yeah. No, it was not a good situation at all. Did you follow the blizzard? Did you follow it in as a weatherman?
Oh yeah, I would watch the TV. Oh yeah, I was constantly looking out the window. My pants in the sky is and every window in the house. I would probably look out the window, people saw that, as I say, weather was with me in elementary school. I don't know about before the 6th grade, but I remember giving the weather in the 6th grade. I draw kind of a weather map on the board.
Really? That's funny.
After I left BIN, I worked at Macy's in Manchester. I was there. I don't know if I was there October 2015. The people were great, and I didn't go back after the pandemic. And customers were asking me, why can't you? Some people said, why couldn't you go to Boston? I says, well, they don't want the goodie. Every customer told me that's their loss. That's what the customer, I explained that they didn't want, and it's the truth. And they said, well, it was their loss. But I had a fun 40 years plus. It was, I wasn't in the suit, but I was in the total men's area upstairs in the Mall of New Hampshire.
How long were you there?
I was there October 15. I was hired in September, late. It was October 16th, and I didn't go back after. They were closed for 8 weeks during the pandemic. So they closed March 18th of 2020, didn't reopen until May 18th. And I was upstairs. There wasn't any windows.
Yeah.
I didn't want, it was a great place to work. I had perfect attendance, and
Did you you must have had a lot of people who recognized you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they were wondering why I'm in. I says, well, I kept telling people, that Boston didn't want it. And they all, just about 90% of them said, well, it's their loss. But it was fun there. I don't know if I saw you. I was trying to think coming. I don't know if you ever was up there. Did you ever see?
No, but my aunt saw you there because when I told her I was going to be interviewing you, she said, I saw him working at Macy's some time ago. And she actually asked you to do Good Evening and High Pressure, I think, when she saw you, and you did it. Well, she was so excited.
The thing was, I used to get accounts, people to open credit cards. Some days I'd get 4, and then they would go over the accounts. It was very strict. I don't know how it is now, because of the online, but it was very important that that was the only stress I had to make. We had to ask the customer, would you like to open up an account?
You didn't, and you weren't.
Well, I did get the day. I kept all my slips from Mason. And some days I got 4, 3, 2.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It depended on the day and if people wanted to do it.
But but you'd rather have been back in the studio doing the
but I enjoyed being there because I had left BI and it was a good. The people there were great. My boss hired me. She was an excellent person.
And but you still do the weather on the radio.
9:80 a.m. WCAP since January of 2009, Jason. So you can listen Monday through Friday, or even including Saturday morning, 6 to 9. And then weekdays after 3 to 5:30, I do an afternoon. So except for Sunday, I'm there Monday through Saturday morning.
Okay.
And I just record it here in Merrimack on my a laptop, and then I send it over. There's an audio attachment, and then they download it. Dell computer, and then it goes in the audio board.
Now, over the years, can you think of the most difficult storm you ever forecasted? The one that maybe stressed you out the most, trying to make sure you were accurate? I mean, you can be fun and all that, but there is this.
I think the winter storms trying to predict the snow amounts.
Predicting snow amounts, and that's always a challenge.
It's a challenge because we have the ocean that's could be lesser at the coast. The ocean doesn't cool as quick as the land in the fall and winter. So it's not like Nebraska. If you were a meteorologist in Omaha, Jason would say 4 feet of snow today.
Right.
And there's no range snow line, but it makes it very difficult here.
It's a challenging region to forecast.
It is.
And but you made it fun, and
well, I think I love the weather, so I wanted to get if I said high pressure or I said high pressure, and that's what people liked. Most of the public liked the style, but it was sincere. I didn't take the weather as a joke, as some people might think. I was serious, but it's just the manner I did it in. Someone would say, well, that's kind of, why does he do the weather like that? Somebody in Nebraska that was here visiting that, but wow. But that's what the style was, and it worked.
But you didn't think, okay, this is what I'm going to just create this character giving.
Well, I had it somewhat in college. They saw on the college because they were interviewing and they said, let's stop and interview. So I went up for an interview. And the news director said, go to lunch. And I went to lunch, I think at 12:30. He said, come back in an hour. And he said, we're going to offer the job to you. But he said, even though I'm going to offer you the job, not everyone's going to like it. Same thing with not every person, even people watching, not everyone's going to like you. That's just human nature. But he said, we're going to hire you. And you will start August 1st. So I commuted, as I said, and then I lived in Derry until 2000. So I've been in Merrimack over 25 years now. I love this town.
And you still get recognized. And
I do my exercise now is to go to the YMCA. I've been a member since November of 2020. Sometimes I do 28 laps. I've done as much as 30.
Really? Wow. Impressive, Al.
7 laps is a mile at the Merrimack at the track. Then they have in the middle of the track, you go around in a circle, and then they have basketball and tennis courts. I go around.
Well, I will say, I mean, when I was in college, I went to UNH journalism, but I thought I wanted to be a meteorologist. So I took one meteorology class at UNH, and I was like,
it's a lot of math. It's a lot of math.
It was really hard.
I had to take 3 semesters of calculus. Now, physics, the first year at Linden State, which is now Vermont State University at Linden, which is the new name. But when I was at the former Linden State College, I took Calculus 1 my sophomore year. They wanted me to take analytic It was a math class without calculus.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was an algebra class. And then I started Calc 1 in the sophomore year. And, well, I had to wait till the sophomore because they didn't want me to take Calc 1 in my freshman. And then because over the summer you would forget a lot. So I had to take Calc 1 my sophomore year.
Yeah.
Then I tried to take physics up there. So it was just so much. I took physics 1 and 2 it's a beautiful school. I got the credit accepted. UMass Boston. You ever been? It overlooks that's a beautiful sketch. I love the scenery there.
Yeah.
So I had to go for over the summer and take physics 1 and 2. It was tough.
Yeah.
And I took statistics. And I just want to let you know, Jason, it was with the calculus base. It wasn't statistics is non-calc. And the reason they give all the math is if there's a student out there that wants to go into research meteorology, you don't say, I wish you study, why we're getting warmer temperatures. Is it really climate change? A lot of meteorologists say it is, but I haven't, I have nothing to prove it writing in front of me. But you would study things like that, but you would need a master's degree. So you would need 2 more years after you've been. That's why they give all the math. I have a bachelor BS degree, Bachelor of Science in Meteorology, but for research, you need a master's. And then some of them go on for their doctorate if you a lot of math.
Yeah.
If you went into weather, you'd be looking at.
Oh no,
You didn't like math?
I realized
it's a lot
quick
of math.
It wasn't going to be for me.
That's why for anyone listening, because some students may want, and if you go into your master's, it's 2 years, it's more math.
Yeah.
You think you could do it?
But see, you made it look so easy on TV.
Well, I worked really hard at former Linden State. I always was in the library, even Saturday afternoon,
Yeah.
Because my goal there was to get the degree. Because if I didn't go to former Linden State, I wouldn't have got the job.
And so, I guess I kind of asked this a little earlier, but what you enjoyed most? You said you enjoyed
appearances,
making the appearances and stuff. But when you were actually in the studio, what was there a particular part of the job that you?
Well, I also gave tours. I went to schools, schools, and I did tours that the Cub Scouts would come. They'd
at the station.
Yes,
you give tours.
I gave tours. I even did that. The man of all trades here.
Wow, I didn't see you.
Maybe you were. So were you in Cub Scouts?
I actually was not. No. Oh,
but I did do a lot of tours there. Yes.
Yeah. I wrote a lot of stories about Cub Scouts though. So
I did tours. They would call, and then now they go on the app or online. But I used to get calls and book tours. They used to do them like 3:30, 4 in the afternoon. It was fun. It was a great.
Did you ever? I'm just wondering, Al, if you ever had any negative experiences with any member of the public who thought you were just this joke. Did anyone? I mean, we all love you.
Well, I'm sure there's people out there, but I think more people. I think more people. Yeah, they probably some people, but they really don't understand why I was hired and all I've done for people.
Right.
All right. They just see the boss and say, "Oh, that's the guy." Oh no.
Yeah.
Can't put him on channel.
Yeah. Right.
But as people said at Macy's, it was their loss. The public really liked me. The people I met at Macy's. It's their loss. You don't want to put me on? I can't make them put me on.
Right.
And, life is short. What does it matter in the end when we all pass? But that's how and as I say, they let me do what I want. I felt like I had a news director that was but they didn't say, Al, you can't say high pressure.
So anyone who, might joke, but have fun with the way your style, you were cool. You seemed, you were cool with it.
And one thing I want to say, the boss, they know I'm still around. I haven't left.
No,
the station's gone, but I'm still here.
You are.
So they know.
Here.
They probably see things that I think I was just someone that put some of my clips on Instagram. So I'm sure they saw it.
Yeah, but that last day on TV must have been. What was that like?
Well, it was BIN. It was kind of. But I was there so long. It's tough leaving, but it's not like I did it for a year and they shut the station. I was there over 25 years. So I did my job. I worked hard. I even had questions from the school when I lived in the condo. I had to answer it by hand and then send it back to the.
Okay.
I did that plus doing the weather. It was that's why I got I got a proclamation when John Lynch was governor.
Really? Okay. Wow.
Because I went above and beyond. As the general manager said, Al goes above and
Yeah.
I'm really my job is really to do the weather on TV. But when you're if you're a TV meteorologist, I expect you to go out and you can't just do the weather. And I gave tours. I went to schools. I did charity. Over here down in Nashua, I did the breast cancer. I gave out carnations to the survivors. Did that over for maybe close to 10 years or plus or minus 10 years.
What was your worst weather experience outdoors reporting in a storm? Did you have any nightmare situations that you can remember?
Not really.
No. Okay. All right.
The funnest part was in the snowstorm behind the building. I get my winter hat. I don't know if any of it's on YouTube. A lot of my weather clips are on.
If you had the opportunity now to continue doing TV weather, would you do it?
I would do it in the same way.
You still would do it.
I still love the weather. I'm still alive, but the station's gone. All that you showed is just.
But if someone approached you now and said, "Al, we want to bring you on to do the weather on a TV station," you would.
I would probably, I wouldn't go out of New England. I would probably want to stay here because one of the reasons they also, Jason, didn't want to leave this out. They were looking for somebody from New England. No offense to the other states if you don't live in, but that was one of the requirements. They were looking for somebody because you know the area.
Yeah.
Growing up here, I knew Cape Cod would get rain. We'd get a heavy snowstorm because in the late November the ocean's still warm. Okay. So it takes more heat to warm the ocean in the spring because it's mixing. You have evaporation. So in the spring, you've ever gone to the coast, you have an east wind. Jason goes, woo, I got to go back home. It's too cold in Hampton. That's April. So the wind off the ocean in April is going to be different than it is in August because now the ocean is warmed up.
Right. I spent many storms reporting for the newspaper, for the Union Leader.
I did do something for the Telegraph too. I should mention. It was with John Van Fleet. He was great, man. I don't know if you know John. He's at I think
yes.
I know John was a great. And then Phil Kincaid. I did He retired, and then they didn't do it. I used to do a Skype at home for the Telegraph for a while. That's another. Yeah.
Okay. So you've been around.
I've been here, and I'm still here.
What outside of weather? What do you do?
I go to my Y.
Okay.
The ocean, I don't go much now because I've seen all these creatures in the ocean. I used to go way out when I was younger.
Yeah.
On we used to go. We have a place in East Ennis. I used to go way out in West Ennis. I just heard recently they found a shark at West Ennis, so I can't go. I'll stick to the Y right now. No offense I don't want people not to go to the beach, but I had my fill when I was younger.
Yeah. Do you have hobbies? Do you have?
I watch sports. I love the Red Sox. I've got more into sports and listening to the news because when I was at Macy's, if you work till close, it closed at 9:30 or 10 or not.
Yeah.
By the time you come home and relax, so I have time now. I've gotten more into the Patriots, Bruins, Red Sox, and Celtics.
So you're.
I'm really a Celtic, Bruins, Celtics, Patriots, and Red Sox. I really.
Well, anything else, Al? Anything people might be surprised to learn about you? They might not know.
Well, I think people always thought we just do the weather. His head's always in the. Not really. Since I've left WNDS, I've become stronger in sports. I still love the weather, and I would just, as I said, I would go to another TV station, but gives me more time to follow the Red Sox. Like I'm there. Okay, I've gone to games in the past, but it's like I'm there.
Right.
And I watch it sometimes if I'm nervous. I watch it on the phone.
Yeah.
And I go back in 2 minutes to see what happened.
Yeah. Well, Al, any regrets? Have you had any regrets?
Nope, I don't think I had. I think that was a great station because they let me be who I wanted. I'll never change my style.
No, I appreciate you sitting down and sharing your story on the air for so many years as one of our I guess most memorable.
Yeah, I used to do even career days at the high school. Not even talking about careers, students going into.
Yeah.
And I showed them how I was so interested in the weather because it's sad. When you see an 11th grader, they don't know what they want to do. But if you talk to any of the people I went to high school with today, if I run into, Al, you did what you said you were going to do. That a lot of them would say that today.
Right.
Which is not really common. You know, some students, even at junior and high school, I don't know what I want to do. It's
Well, it's amazing you had that passion as a child,
Yeah.
and it continued, and you are still
I just had a
passionate
fascination.
today.
It was a fascination. I can't say what maybe becomes, but I loved snowstorms. I used to look up. My grandmother used to say, "You're looking up at the sky." She knew I was going to do something with weather or something.
I don't love snowstorms anymore. I used to love going out reporting them.
Well, the worst winter weather is freezing rain, because that falls as a liquid, and that brings trees and power.
Yeah.
Freezing rain, tornadoes. Snow isn't bad. The wet snow can sometimes. I like the fluffy snow, 20 inches.
Yeah.
As long as you don't hit a hole and skid off the road, fluffy snow is really harmless.
Yeah.
It's the wet snow, but then the freezing rain falls as a liquid, because the temperature at the ground could be 28.
Well, before we wrap up, do you have any long range forecasts for the rest of this summer?
Well, we're in a super El Nino now. The South Pacific Ocean waters are warmer than normal, and this is going to be a super El Nino, probably one of the strongest ones we've seen in a while. So what that does is it can give us more precipitation. We'll have to see this winter. I just hope we don't get any ice storms.
No, we don't. And
also, it can cause more stronger winds aloft. Wind shear, which if you're a cumulonimbus cloud at the top and there's strong winds above you, it's going to tear you apart. It's like shredding cotton can. You would take it off the stick. Thunderstorms and hurricanes don't like strong winds aloft, and then you get more shearing and strong winds aloft, and that breaks apart the growth of the thunderstorm, the cumulonimbus cloud, which forms a hurricane. Severe.
Yeah.
So we're thinking that they may still be active, but the Pacific has been more within line El Nino, and it may not be quite as cold as I've heard that. That's not my focus, because we're going to have more air coming off the Pacific. Last year we had a La Nina. You had frigid air coming down from the North Pole. We may get some bouts of Arctic air this winter, but in the average meteorological winter, December, January, February, they're saying it may be warmer than, but that's not my forecast. That I'll leave I never liked doing long range forecasts.
Yeah, no. Well,
because I was at the supermarket in Nashua once getting a Christmas. It was one of those small. The woman said, "How do they go so long? They'll leave you on this at the register." She says, "You never went that far." And that's how you can get into trouble. I've seen in Boston, they go 10 days. It's really, you're putting your credibility on the line. But if the news director tells you, you have to do it.
What range are you comfortable with?
I used to go, I think 7 days, 5 or so. I think it was 7.
5 seems
because the most accurate forecast is within 24 hours, 48, and then when you get beyond 72 hours or more, it becomes an outlook, and that can change. As I said, low pressure speeds up from the Great Lakes. You said it was going to be good someday. Jason had a picnic at 5 o'clock and it started. Jason, the storm sped up. The computer models, and I want to leave you, they change every day. Remember, it's not like a reporter covering up. It started at this. That's why you should watch the weather every day, because computer models change.
Right.
But they've gotten not perfect, but since the LFM and the Blizzard 7, they've gotten better. We have high resolution models now. There's even AI models.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I could handle all the models if I went back into that's the.
Right.
But the high resolution is as you get in within 24 hours to 48. And sometimes they can vary with the other.
Yeah.
It's a very tough business. It changes. That's why people say, well, it's supposed to be good today. Now this Sunday, it's going to rain at late after.
But
things can speed up and they can slow down. Fronts, low pressures, high pressure may be up in Greenland.
Yeah.
And that blocks a storm, and you can get they call that the Greenland high. And that can cause colder weather because the jet stream can't go north. It's blocked by high pressure. And I'll leave you on this. High pressure can be like a stone wall. Like a big boulder. It blocks low pressure and the jet stream from going north.
Well, you certainly know your stuff.
Yes.
And you make weather fun, and we have enjoyed you for decades.
Yeah, and I'm still doing radio. You'll have to listen some morning if you're up Monday through Saturday, 6 to 9 a.m.
All right, tune in and
at 9:80 a.m. WCAP, where everybody gets it. That's my motto at the end.
That's your motto.
They stopped saying it, but they let me continue that.
Okay. Awesome. Well, Al, thanks again for taking the time. And
Jason, you were great. Thank you for asking me to be part of your podcast.
I will tell you how this happened. I woke up a couple weeks ago, 1 a.m. I woke up and I thought, I have to get Al Kaprielian on my show.
Sure.
That's how my mind works. I don't know. And here you are. So thank you so much. All right, Al.
Thank you.
It's been fun.
Yeah, thank you. And I look forward to seeing this when you get it all ready.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Until next time, remember, every person and every place has a story to tell. We'll see you soon. Thanks for tuning in to Grounded and Granite. If you've enjoyed today's episode, hit the YouTube subscribe button. You can also listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio.